You know, many times during a crisis, kids are sometimes left out of the conversation. But two Jamaicans made sure that they are not. They have put together a kid-friendly book entitled Coronovirus, Get Out of Here. Joining me now are author Peter Ivy, who's in New York, and illustrator Andrew Blake, who is with us here in Jamaica. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Smile
Miss Har-
Jamaica. It's morning time.
Miss Harris,
Good
good
morning.
morning. Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure to have you. Peter, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
As the author of the book, what, I mean, I know COVID inspired it, but I think this more inspired it because you're a dad.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
both of us have sons the same age.
Mhm.
And early on in the crisis, my son is very inquisitive. And he said to me, Daddy, I'm afraid to ask this question because it's not that I want to go to school, but I want to know why we're not going to school.
So the questions,
So
and you thought to yourself, look, questions are going to come, so I need to make sure he can get the answers
eh,
and in a way that he likes to get them, right?
exactly. So in attempting to answer that question,
Mhm.
if I was supposed to truly give him one of two feelings I was having. It was either one of, okay, this is not so serious, or on the other side of the spectrum, it's doom and gloom and the world is coming to an end.
Okay.
And the message I always want to give my son is supposed to be useful and hopeful. I always want to be useful and hopeful. So that wasn't the information I wanted to give him, and I couldn't find the information that I wanted to share with him.
So how did you find information? What kind of research did you do? And how did you translate that into the book? I'm coming to you in a second, Andrew, but I just want to walk through this process first with Peter.
Yeah, man. So as I started to read for myself and really start to disseminate, start to separate fact from fiction and things like that, I realized that I still had an issue talking to him about it because the information was so heavy and using words that my son couldn't understand, as bright as he is. And so the book really came out of a conversation with him where I finally hit the nail on the head, and he was like, "Oh yes, now me get it." And he wasn't devastated, and and I didn't feel like I had to break down information too much because at that age a lot of them are so bright,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
they
And so
are. They're
that's
inquisitive. You want to make sure they get the right info. All right, so
exactly.
Andrew, Peter said, look, I'm going to write it, but kids, they want to see it. And so he called you. What did you think when you first had the discussion about the book?
Well, just Peter giving me a call. He knows that I'm always ready to hear what he has to say and get going with the idea. And as soon as he came up with the idea, I was ready to go. I mean, illustration is something that we've discussed several times, and because of other projects, we just didn't get it going. But this was a perfect time. I had the time, he had the time. The message was there for us to pass on to our kids, so it was no better time to get it going than now.
I tell people COVID is the worst of times, but it's also the best of times.
Yes, it is.
Because now that you have the time, you are able to do this project. So talk to me about the illustrations. Did you read the story and then say, okay, this is how it's gonna look, or did you say, Peter, what you write, it can't look so so change up some of the things then? How did it work?
Oh, well, one thing that helps is that I'm always a fan of comic book and animation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, I'm not only it's my profession, but I'm a real fan of the artwork. So I usually connect with it very easily. And so he basically had was to just give me bullet points,
Okay.
and I just tell the story based on those bullet points.
All right, Peter, when you saw the illustrations, did you say, yes, this is what I'm thinking about? Or did you see it and say, Andrew, why?
Listen, Andrew is brilliant, and we've been at this for a very, very long time together, collaborating. So
Yeah.
Andrew basically can read my mind. I trust him very much when I have an idea. And so when I see the first design, I say, Andrew, you hit the nail on the head this time, man. Trust me. So right out the blocks, he was good. He was good. We didn't have to do too much changing up and stuff like that.
Yes, but JC alums, man. So JC men think, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
give me an idea now of what can we expect to see in the book. What does it explain, and what are some of the things that you want to teach the children who will be accessing this book?
All right, so I used two words earlier, useful and hopeful,
Yeah.
right? We don't dive into science, right? We leave that to the experts, right? This is merely two fathers making an attempt to explain to their children, and for other parents just like us who might have the same issue, right? Because we know we're not alone in this.
Yeah.
And so children can expect to find things, why it's important to wash your hands. What exactly are we facing? What is coronavirus, right? Who are the people working together to solve this problem? Those are some of the things that they can expect to find.
Wonderful. It's for ages 6 to 12. Where can parents get the book for the children?
Well, we have on our social media pages, there's a link in all of our bios. Mine is Peter Ivy Official on Instagram and Facebook. The link is there. Once you click it, the book comes up. And for Andrew as well, Andrew Blake, A&B Print on Instagram. The link is also in Andrew's bio.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, you guys have been friends for what, more than 25 years?
More than 25 years, yeah.
And worked on a number of projects, and it's cool that you could work on something inspired by your kids.
Absolutely.
What was your son's reaction to it when he saw it?
Well, PJ was very critical, right? I'll let Andrew speak on a journey, but PJ was very critical. PJ said, Daddy, take out that word there because this make your book sound dumb, right? So PJ did quite a little with the editing when it was done, and I'm grateful for that.
No, that's important because you're writing it for the kids, so you have to get the kids' perspective on what to do. All right, so all they have to do is just check out your social media links, and that's how they'll get the book. Is there a cost attached to it?
Well, the book is a free download. We do have the book offered on lulu.com for $5.99, and all proceeds go to charity. This is for people who want to donate to the cause.
Okay.
If you cannot, the book is for free download. Andrew and I have a pretty high sense of social responsibility, and we're aware that the coronavirus crisis is going to be a crisis within a crisis within a crisis. And so we're keeping note of that and see if we can come up with other projects as we try to disseminate information for our kids.
Lulu.com. I love our dads, and I love our Jamaican dads. They throw themselves into growing kids all the way. So proud of you both. Thank you so much for speaking with us. How are things in New York? How are you coping?
New York is tough, Delia.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. Living in the epicenter right now. I can tell you that the news is grim. I want everybody in Jamaica to turn at them yard, because being here and seeing the high numbers and having direct link to people who are affected is not easy to deal with. Not easy at all. And you're driving in New York City, and New York is normally a place that is bustling and the streets are empty. The reality hit home the other day. It's a ghost town.
Yeah. Yeah. No chefing going on now then.
No chefing now go on.
All right, my friend. Look forward to when COVID's done.
It's always a pleasure seeing you, Miss Harris. It's always a pleasure.
You too, my love. Andrew?
Yes, sir.
How are you coping?
I'm doing good. I'm just using the time to work on more projects.
Yeah.
And so we there continue to use the time to build our the work that we have, because we're always thinking, and so we always have things to share and to just help everyone to get over and to uplift as best as we possibly can through our talents.
Awesome. Bless you guys, and thank you for the work you do, and continue to be safe.
Thank you for having us.
All right, author Peter Ivy joining us there from New York, and right here our own illustrator Andrew Blake here in JA. Make sure you get a copy for your kids. Still to come on the show, bush medicine and COVID-19. We're also going to look at online courses in tourism. Soon come back.